Good morning, good morning. I'd like to thank Reverend Jesse Jackson as well as Reverend Jeanette for the opportunity, but I'd also like to acknowledge my current all 7 Board of Education members from Harvey School District 152. You know, Board of Education members don't get paid to do the work that they do, so let's thank them, as well as my newly appointed Board of Education, Dalton Riverdale 148. So, today's education update is centered around a question that was recently posed to me. And being that I'm an educator with over 25 years of experience, I have to be honest, I was kind of taken back when someone asked me this question, but I guess it's a good one. You want to know what the question is? Doc, how is it possible that a child can graduate from high school and still not be literate? Ouch. And after that conversation started, it actually moved to a more specific question, and it was just rephrased a little bit, and that question was, how is it possible, for the sake of this conversation, that a music entertainer can progress from kindergarten through grade 12 in the same school district and still not know how to read and write? How is that possible? Especially when research supports the line of thinking that if a child is not reading at or above grade level, by the time he or she reaches 3rd grade, that child is highly likely to struggle throughout his or her entire academic career. I'd like to digress for just one moment. As a national speaker, I know for a fact that when I'm presenting a message, that the audience fades in and out approximately 15 times every 60 seconds. So if you have faded out, I need you to fade back for just 30 seconds so that I might answer that question. It is possible. It is possible when society and the media and we use terms like failing schools. What do we mean by failing schools? Schools don't fail. Are we referring to the brick and mortar? Are we referring to the walls? Are we referring to the teachers in the system? Society and individuals in the most key and critical roles within various institutions are the ones that fail to do a good job of providing our most vulnerable students with equitable access to the financial, technological, intellectual, and human resources that they need to be successful. But don't just take my word for it. For example, a new research report provided by EdBuild, which is an advocacy organization that pushes for equitable spending, indicates just recently, this literally dropped about 6 days ago, that the United States spends $23 billion more on white school districts than in non-white school districts. And it's for this reason alone that I'm asking educators from across the entire world to do away with the use of the term academic achievement gap. Wow, Doc, you want us to do away with the use of the term academic achievement gap? Absolutely. The academic achievement gap is the term that is used to refer to the difference in the academic performance levels of students of color and students non-blacks or non-Hispanic or students that do not have multiple languages that they speak in the home. Why am I asking you to do this? Because when we use the term academic achievement gap out of context, we allow people from outside of the education profession to believe that educators alone are the reason that the gap exists, and I reject this line of thinking. The reality is that everyone from all facets of society bears some level of responsibility for ensuring the academic, social, and emotional well-being of the students that we serve. So where am I suggesting that we're going with this in closing? I am suggesting that we use a term coined by Dr. Gloria Ladson-Billings, and she refers to it as the education debt. The education debt is an accumulation of societal ills that have negatively impacted children. More specifically, it is important to understand that the difference in the performance levels of students of color and their peers is a direct result of an accumulation of negative factors such as unemployment, poverty, low literacy, marginalization, and the underfunding of schools, which has plagued vulnerable communities that our students attend. Educators cannot go at this alone. Lastly, I closed last week with suggesting that if we are not at the table, we will be on the menu. I am so happy to share with you that one of our very own, Dr. Donna Simpson-Link, is at the table. Something historical happened in Springfield this past week, and I'm so grateful to have been there to see it. As educators, we've pushed that at the Illinois State Board of Education level, that we have someone that is actual educator on the board. They rejected it in Springfield for 2 years in a row. In just November, they accepted it in Springfield. It is now law that an educator has to be on the Illinois State Board of Education. And you guys, I sat and I watched while my colleague, Dr. Donna Simpson-Leak, became the first educator in the history of the Illinois State Board of Education. When I left her, she was appointed to the board. By the time I got to my next meeting, I was informed that she became the vice chair of the Illinois State Board of Education. As Reverend Jackson would say, keep hope alive. We can do it. Keep supporting PUSH. Keep coming to PUSH, and keep giving and believing in the people that stand behind this microphone, because we are getting a seat at the table. And I'd like to close with a message that I tweeted this week. There are really only 3 types of people that exist in this world. There are people that make it happen, there are people that watch it happen, and there are people that say, "Ooh, what just happened?"